اعوذ باللہ من الشیطان الرجیم، بسم اللہ الرحمن الرحیم۔ آپ کا میزبان عارف جہانگیری ایک دفعہ پھر کمیونٹی ٹاک کے پروگرام کے ساتھ حاضر ہیں۔ ناظرین، آپ کو پتہ ہے کہ ہر ہفتے ہماری کوشش ہوتی ہے کہ کمیونٹی ٹاک میں کچھ ایسے سبجیکٹ کو ڈسکس کیا جائے جو ظاہر باتیں سوسائٹی سے بھی کافی ریلیٹڈ ہوں، اوور آل دنیا سے بھی ریلیٹڈ ہوں، اور ہمارے پاس ہم مختلف پروگرام پیش کرتے رہتے ہیں اور ہمیں اس کی یقیناً جو ہے وہ فیڈ بیک بھی ملتا ہے۔ میں ان تمام لوگوں کا جو کہ کمیونٹی ٹاک کو بہت ریگولر دیکھتے ہیں، خاص طور پہ ان ناظرین کو جو ٹی وی کے اوپر دیکھتے ہیں اور جو مجھے ناروے سے، یو ایس سے اور پاکستان سے اور جناب سعودی عرب سے جو ہے وہ مجھے چیٹ اپنے جو ہے میسیجز وغیرہ بھی بھیجتے ہیں پروگرام کے حوالے سے، میں ان تمام لوگوں کا بہت بہت شکر گزار ہوں، اور تمام کینیڈینز کا بھی جو کہ کمیونٹی ٹاک کے پروگرام کو باقاعدگی سے دیکھتے ہیں۔ تو ناظرین، ایک چند مسائل ایسے جو بڑی تیزی کے ساتھ جو ہے کینیڈا کی جو سوسائٹی ہے اس کے اندر سامنے نظر آ رہے ہیں، لیکن پرابلم یہ ہے ہماری اس سوسائٹی کا کہ لوگ اس جانب جو ہے وہ توجہ نہیں دے رہے، اس جانب جو ہے وہ بات نہیں کرتے۔ نمبر ایک پروگرام جو چیز مجھے نظر آتی ہے، آپ نے پچھلے دنوں ہی سنا ہوگا کہ مسیساگا کے اندر جو ہے ایک شاپس تھی، اس کے اندر جو ہے وہ پوری فیملی کو گولی مار دی گئی۔ وہ گولی مارنے والا نقاب پہنا ہوا تھا، غائب ہو گیا، ابھی تک اس کا پتہ نہیں ہے کون تھا، کس طرح کا تھا، کہاں سے آیا اور کہاں گیا۔ اور اسی طرح کے بہت سارے حادثات ہر روز ٹورنٹو کے اندر ہوتے ہیں، ہر روز کوئی نہ کوئی اسٹیپنگ ہوتی ہے، ہر روز کوئی نہ کہیں گولی چلتی ہے، ہر روز کوئی نہ کوئی مارا جاتا ہے، کوئی نہ کوئی زخمی ہو جاتا ہے۔ ہم روز جناب ٹی وی کے جو ہمارے جو میجر ٹی وی چینلز ہیں اس کے اندر یہ خبریں پڑھتے ہیں، لیکن یہ سیکیورٹی ایشوز کم ہونے کا نام نہیں لیتے۔ اکثر جب ہم ان سیکیورٹی ایشوز کے پیچھے دیکھتے ہیں تو اس کے پیچھے کہیں ہمیں جو ہے ڈرگ وار نظر آتی ہے، کہیں گینگ وار نظر آتی ہے، یا کہیں اور مسائل بھی نظر آتے ہیں۔ اسی طرح عورتوں کی سیکیورٹی بھی ایک بہت بڑا مسئلہ ہے، ان کے ساتھ آئے دن جو ہے وہ کہیں نہ کہیں جو ہے ان کو ہراس کی جاتا ہے، ان کے ساتھ زیادتی کی جاتی ہے۔ وہ راستے میں سفر کر رہی ہوتی ہیں اکیلے تو ان کے ساتھ کوئی نہ کوئی جبر و زیادتی کی جاتی ہے اور ان کو زخمی کر دیا جاتا ہے، اور اس کے پیچھے بھی کئی لوگ ہوتے ہیں، کچھ لوگ پکڑے جاتے ہیں، کچھ لوگ پکڑے نہیں جاتے۔ لیکن اس کے علاوہ بھی بہت سارے اہم مسائل ہیں جو کینیڈا کے اندر میں خود اندازہ کر رہا ہوں کہ 20 سال پہلے جب میں ادھر ایز اے امیگرنٹ آیا تھا شاید یہ وہ مسائل نہیں تھے، لیکن یہ مسائل اب بہت تیزی کے ساتھ سامنے آ رہے ہیں، اور جس کی وجہ سے یہاں پر جو ایک بڑا طبقہ جو ہے وہ معاشی پریشانیوں کا شکار ہو گیا ہے۔ اور جو چیز ہمیں نظر آتی ہے جناب کہ راکٹ ہائی پرائسز آف دا ریل اسٹیٹ دیکھ لیں آپ، جو مکان کل جو ہے 2-2.5 لاکھ کا اگر مل جایا کرتا تھا ایک عام سا مکان، وہ آج جو ہے 1 ملین میں بھی ہمیں نہیں ملتا۔ اسی طریقے سے ہم دیکھتے ہیں کہ ریل اسٹیٹ رینٹ کے جو مسائل ہیں، پہلے غریب آدمی جو ہے وہ 800 900 ہزار کے اوپر رینٹ کر لیا تھا، ایک فیملی چل جایا کرتی تھی، لیکن اب وہی رینٹ جو ہے وہ 1800 1700 1900 ڈالر کے اندر ہوتا ہے۔ لیکن کوئی بھی پارٹی سے سوال، لبرل پارٹی سے نہ سوال کرتا ہے نہ کنزرویٹو سے سوال کرتا ہے کہ بھائی یہ تمام مسائل اس معاشرے کے اندر جنم لے رہے ہیں، بلکہ پارٹی کے جو جیسے ہمارے یہاں پاکستان میں پیپلز پارٹی اور مسلم لیگ کے سپورٹر ہوتے ہیں، چاہے وہ پارٹی ان کی کچھ بھی کر لے وہ انہی کو سپورٹ کرتے ہیں۔ بالکل یہاں پر بھی یہی صورتحال ہے کہ جو لبرل پارٹی کے سپورٹر ہیں وہ لبرل پارٹی کو سپورٹ کریں گے، چاہے وہ کنزرویٹو پارٹی کے ہوں تو وہ کنزرویٹو، لیکن ان تمام مسائل کی طرف کوئی توجہ نہیں دیتا۔ تو یہ آج ایک بڑا المیہ ہے سوسائٹی کا، اور جو ہماری قوم ہے وہ سوچنے پر مجبور ہے کہ وہ کس طریقے سے ان تمام مسائل کو ایڈریس کرے۔ نوجوانوں کو جاب نہیں مل رہی، وہ امریکہ کی طرف چلے جاتے ہیں، برین ڈرین کا سلسلہ کئی عرصے سے جا رہے ہیں۔ اس کے علاوہ جو ہے آپ کو پتہ ہے ہائی ٹیکسز جو ہے وہ کینیڈا کی جان اور پہچان ہے، اور یہاں پر جو ہے کوئی آدمی اگر $100,000 کماتا ہے تو جناب 50% جو اس کا جو انکم اس نے کمائی ہے وہ گورنمنٹ لے جاتی ہے، لیکن اس کے باوجود ہمیں بڑی بڑی لائنوں کے اندر ہیلتھ کیئر کے یونٹس کے اندر انتظار کرنا پڑتا ہے۔ اگر کسی آدمی کو کوئی کرٹیکل ڈیزیز ہو جائے تو اس کو کینسر کے اس علاج کے لیے کئی مہینوں کا انتظار کرنا پڑتا ہے، کوئی آپریشن کرانا ہو ارجنٹ تو کئی مہینوں کا انتظار کرنا پڑتا ہے، اور اس کے نتیجے میں اس کی حالت بگڑ جاتی ہے، یا تو وہ جان سے چلا جاتا ہے یا پھر جو ہے وہ اس کی جو صحت ہے وہ کرٹیکل کی طرف چلی جاتی ہے۔ آج ہم نے ایک شخص کو یہاں پر مدعو کیا ہے۔ پچھلے سال کسی نے مجھے ای میل بھیجی تھی کہ ایک نئی پارٹی جو ہے وہ جنم لے رہی ہے، اس پارٹی کا نام جناب سینٹرسٹ پارٹی آف کینیڈا ہے، اور میری سمجھ میں نہیں آیا خیر اس وقت کہ جناب یہ پارٹی کیوں بنائی جا رہی ہے، کس لیے بنائی جا رہی ہے۔ ابھی پچھلے دنوں ایک دوست نے پھر تذکرہ کیا کہ جناب ایک صاحب ہیں، پاکستانی افراد ہیں، ان کا نام ڈاکٹر A.Q. رانا ہے، اور وہ سینٹرسٹ پارٹیز کے روح رواں ہیں، انہوں نے سٹارٹ کیا ہے اس پروجیکٹ کو۔ اور وہ کیوں سٹارٹ کیا ہے تو میں نے کہا چلیں ان کو بلا لیتے ہیں، ان سے پوچھتے ہیں کہ کیا وجوہات تھیں کہ کس بنیاد کے اوپر جو ہے انہوں نے جو ہے اس پارٹی کو شروع کیا ہے اور اس پارٹی کو آگے بڑھانا چاہتے ہیں۔ वैसे तो बाय प्रोफेशन वो जो है एक न्यूरोलॉजिस्ट हैं, और न्यूरोलॉजिस्ट हैं और पार्किंसन डिजीज के ऊपर उनकी बड़ी ज़बरदस्त स्पेशलाइजेशन है। वो बहुत मतलब दुनिया के अंदर जाने माने जानते हैं इस डिजीज़ के हवाले से। उनके कई पेपर्स जो है वो बहुत सारे ब्रोशर्स जो हैं उनके कई ज़बानों के अंदर छपे हैं। वो यहाँ पर भी एक चैरिटेबल ऑर्गेनाइजेशन भी चलाते हैं पार्किंसन डिजीज़ के हवाले से, जहाँ पर भी लोगों को उनकी मदद की ज़रूरत होती है, क्योंकि महंगा इलाज है। उनकी जो चैरिटेबल ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है उस सिलसिले में उनको मदद करती है। आई वॉन्ट टू वेलकम एंड इन्वाइटेड Dr. A.Q. Rana to my program Community Talk. Thank you, Rana Saab, for coming us and giving us the time on the Toronto 360 Community Talk TV.
Thank you for having me on your program. It's a great opportunity for me to reach out to all sorts of people. Yeah.
So, Rana Saab, did I give you the enough introduction about yourself, or you want to add something about yourself?
Well, this was much more than I deserve. My mother would believe everything you said. My father would say, is that it?
So, thank you, Dr. Rana. So, Dr. Rana, first of all, I want to ask you a very simple question. You are a neurologist, mashallah, people know you, and you are working great in your profession. Why politics?
Well, politics was never my thing. I've been a physician, and I'm a student of science and student of Parkinson's. So I spent most of my life studying Parkinson's. But, in last decade or so, I started a charity about 12 years ago, 13 years ago, and so I give talks to people, meet people, so people share their concerns. They can't get access to physicians, can't get access to medications, and so on. So I was more meeting people. Seeing people, common people, outside of my clinic. So when, I listen to their concerns, then you think about, public policies, right? And also, last couple of governments, they had huge issues with the transparency, financial and moral transparency, also political polarization, especially.
We will definitely talk about that one, Rana Saab. But right. I want your own inclination toward the politics. That's the major things that, because a person like doctors like you who are well renowned, having papers, very busy here and there. And politics is a different type of the world, right? You know that. You will right. create your opponents, you will create your favorite peoples, and the peoples who are maybe like you before, they don't like you now. So why politics?
So what I came to believe now, that each and every person should take part in civic and political life, because when the policies are made, when the laws are made, they affect all of us. Okay. So that was the reason I decided to change my mind, and I'm too, at the end of not at the end, at the peak of my career, I decided to start a movement.
So let's come to the Centrist Party of Canada. So why you and your fellows, who are definitely, you're not alone behind this idea. I'm sure there are many people behind this idea. That why you registered a new political party, although we have 5 other parties, national parties, right? You know that. And we have few regional parties as well. So why you think that you have to register another party?
If you look at our party system, it's basically 2 parties taking turns. Right, the other parties are like, they are kind of a pressure group. I should not use this word, but they are like small groups. For example, Bloc Québécois is just a Quebec party. NDP is a extremely left-wing, some people call it by joke, socialist party, right? So main parties are conservative and liberal, and they both know that they will take turns, right? So I call them one party, Lib-Cons. They're one party. So they take turns. So they both had lots of issues. So I have been in Conservative Party. I was their member. Then I was member of Liberal Party. I saw both parties, and I believe I saw them closely. So that's where I, decided that there should be a party which should stand for principles.
Okay, what is let's talk about, because the Conservative Party or the Liberal Party, they both claim that they are the centrist party, number one. What your
Right.
party named, they actually claim that they are the centrist party. They are neither left or they are neither right, but they are something in a very balanced way, as your name is of your party is there. So they both are claiming that one. So why you think that they are not centrist parties?
Yeah. So see, if you you can say anything you want, right? The political parties can say we are the most honest parties, we are this, we are that. But if you take a number of Canadians and ask them about conservative and liberal, they would compare the conservative party with the Republicans in U.S. and they would compare the liberal party with the Democrats. And that US is extremely polarized, right? They are extremely right wing and left wing. So both of these parties which we have, they are also extremely right and left wing. They are not really centrist, although they claim to be centrist because they want to approach people. They want to tell people that they are very, pragmatic and they kind of represent everyone, but they are not really centrist. If you look at their platform, you can easily find out. For example, if you look at indigenous issues, this is a hot topic in last 1 week since they
Yep.
found the remains of the kids, 250 children in residential schools in BC, right? So now the Conservative Party is sending their messages that we are extremely sorry to hear this. But if you look at their position, previously, just recently, their recent leader, their current leader, he said few months ago that the purpose of residential schools was educating children. It was not educating children, it was depriving children of their culture, right? And when Mr. Harper was asked about the inquiry of the missing Indigenous women, so he said that is not a priority on our radar. Mr. Andrew Scheer, he said to the Indigenous people, I don't need your Indian votes. He went on a campaign and he said, I'm not here for Indian votes. So they can say that they are centrist. They can say that they are pro-Indigenous. But when you look at their record, they are not really centrist. They are extremely right-wing. They are pro-guns, right? They are anti minorities. So if you look at all these, and also they give you a package deal, like if they have a package of policies. We are a policy-based party. We don't have a package like, on one side, we support tight gun laws, but on the other side, we oppose the recreational cannabis. So it's totally.
But on the other hand, Liberal Party is claiming they're centrist party. Okay, the Conservative Party, you mentioned that they are not centrist. They are, you give the few examples of here and there. But
Right.
what about the Liberal Party? They also claim they are the centrist party.
Yeah, of course, they also claim they are the centrist party. So, but if you look at their record, right, the Liberal Party has challenged, the court has ordered the government to compensate those children who were in residential schools. In the same Liberal Party, which is today, saying that they are really sorry to hear this and, our flag will be lowered, they challenge that decision in the court. They're fighting those children who were in residential schools for compensation. See, tweeting, lowering the flag, apologies, these are empty slogans. You can take a knee, but if you don't change policies, nothing would happen. Still, indigenous people, they don't have access to clean drinking water. They have food insecurity. They have poverty. They don't have property rights on the reserves. So they are going through all those problems, which are the legacy of colonialism. And Liberal Party has been in power for so many times, and these issues still remain. So their claim is one thing, but their actions speak louder than words, right?
Okay, so NDP, but one of the party that who always come for the support of the poor, the workers class, and all those type of things, and indigenous minority issues of every human right issues, they are in the forefront. And either you talk about today's leader Jagmeet Singh or the yesterday's leader as well, they all are having the very vocal on the human rights issues as well as the different issues which is related to the lower middle class in the society.
Yeah. See, when we look at parties, being a new party, first of all, our focus is to come in front to challenge liberal and conservative parties. That's our main focus. Liberal Party is a small party. It will always be small. I think it has seen its peak in the time of Jack Layton, late Jack Layton. But we do have some core policy differences with NDP.
So let me ask you, what is the high level goal of the Centrist Party of Canada?
Yeah, so we are the most pragmatic and practical party. That's what we believe. We have a very fair approach to all problems, which are fair for all Canadians. And there has been the serious problem in our country is the lack of transparency in both major parties. NDP never had a chance to make a government, so we can't discuss their issue, but liberal and conservative, they both have lots of problems. You look at recent liberal government, so the V charity scandal, right? Before that, SNC issue, SNC 11. Prior to this, the Aga Khan scandal. Prime Minister visited the island, and then you see the blackface scandal of our own Prime Minister, right? If you go back to the Conservative Party, I mean, there was, if you ask, academics and, serious and honest people, the most non-transparent government was the Harper Conservative government from 2006 to 2015. They created so much political division, fear mongering, and their financial record was worse. So both of these parties lack transparency. So one of our main objective is to establish the transparency in all our democratic institutions. The opposition should have access to all documents, minute meetings, all the details of the contracts with the private companies and all the policy documents. And see, in a democratic country, I don't believe in opposition and government. I believe in party in government and party not in government. Because when you say opposition, it means they will be opposing everything, even if it is a good thing. We are not like this. For example, some of the policies of Justin Trudeau, like tight gun laws, we support it, and we are very generous to support it. We stand with it, right? So also his work on the issues of racism, although he says a lot, does very little, but at least is better than the conservative government. We are very honest to admit this. So the opposition and government should work as a team, and they should work as a team for the welfare of Canadians. The job of opposition is to review the policies, to improve it, not to halt the progression. So all the politicians and bureaucrats, they should be accountable to people, and people should have a very fair right to information act, so that the government stays very transparent.
So what I understand, Dr. Rana, that the main goal of your party is to bring the transparency in the government affairs, either financial or either political or social. Your main goal is the transparency within the country in all the matters.
This is one of the main goal.
Okay, one of the main goals that you are contesting with the other parties, but definitely they are definitely on the others' goal. There are several similarities are there definitely, but you
Right.
are saying that you are so, but both the parties, all the parties actually claiming that they want to work for the transparency, and when they come into the government, we see that this transparency issues is always there, especially with the Liberal Party. They have a lot of scandals during that era. Trudeau himself have issues, and he's made some of the important members of his parties is resign because there are so many issues are popped up, and even they resigned before those issues are popped up, so that politically they are not, they are hidden still. But I'm sure that when either the Conservative Party, when it comes to the next election, they will definitely bring up those issues in front of the people. But
Right.
at this stage, they are so. How, do you know any such issue which are just hidden up till now, and people don't know? Because when I see Navdeep Bains is resigned from from the Liberal Party, I don't know what is behind that one. Why he resigned? He's a good. He was projected as a good prime minister in the Liberal Party. So, do you guys,
I,
as a centrist party, did you guys study about that?
no, we don't go into people's personal details or why they did it. We take at a face value, of course, right? He said he resigned because of his family issues. He wanted to give more time to his daughters and stuff. So that's that's his thing. That's good, I think, if he thinks is good. But uh, there are more scandals which are very openly known, like We Charity scandal, SNC-11, and so on. And also in the conservative government, there were many more scandals. Every day there was a scandal, right? In this. In Mr. Clement, riding, they spent they spent that money at the time of the G conference, right? So there were so many so many other issues with conservative. So our other goals are to be fiscally conservative and also eliminate the political polarization, which is affecting our society today.
So, when you say physically conservative, how you define that? Can I know that? What's the definition behind?
Yeah. First of all, there should be no deficit. The budget should be balanced. That's very, very important. For that, we have to cut down our expenses. Government has been spending recklessly, especially because it's a minority government. NDP has been supporting government. So many politicians think that this is a vote buying strategy. Some of the economists I have spoken to, they report that actually the income of some people have increased. This is a time of recession. This is a time of pandemic. So income of people have increased, and that's very obvious from the housing crisis. The housing market is going, going like, endlessly. No one can afford to buy a house in, GTA anymore. So the spending, uncontrolled spending of government, right? Uncontrolled foreign aid, right? This is taxpayers' money. This is not the money of, parliamentarians. And then if you look at their salaries, their benefits, their pensions. Now, there is another issue a few days ago, because if the election happens in September this year, then many of the MPs would lose their pension because their term is complete. A certain term is completing in October because the election was in October, right? So now, although MPs never mentioned this, but this is also a behind the scene talk that we don't want to. I think these are more than 100 MPs who will lose a significant pension. So their benefits, their salaries, and one MP is paid 185,000 salary, and a minister is more than 250, and it's a huge cabinet, right? So similarly, bureaucrats, the size of the government have increased massively, right? So all these things have to be reviewed. The foreign aid should be reviewed. The government size should be reviewed. All the benefits the MPs have, the senators have, and what kind of work they do. There are many backbencher MPs. Their contribution is very little, right? They get stuff in Ottawa. They get stuff in their constituency, their office expenses, right? This is money going from working class, from you and me. Right? We are hardworking people. We work from morning to evening, right? So all these perks, when they, during the pandemic, they had a government plane, which was, taking them from BC to Ottawa, right? Whenever I travel in economy, right? If I become an MP, then the government would pay me to travel business class. Why should it be? Right? So all these things have to, have to be reviewed, and we need a very bold leadership to challenge all these things. So that's where we see the position of centrist party.
So, the Rana Saab, now the prime question comes to you. first of all, tell me that how geographically you are already set up on the grassroots level. Your party is already having some masses support, and geographically you have some offices or the other peoples who are coordinator and of your party working in different regions. Can you tell me something about that?
Yeah, of course, we are a very new party, right? We just got eligibility for registration in November, which
Mhm.
is almost 6 months only. And these we are not like liberal or conservative, not even close to NDP, uh, or even Bloc Québécois. So we submitted. A bit less than 1,000 memberships when we submitted for the registration. Our campaign was ongoing, but we found out that the number was enough. And then afterwards, we started, once we got the eligibility, then we started the online form. So we don't have the exact number of members, but we do have members in BC. We have a lot of support from Alberta. The reason is that because we support our energy sector
Mm.
very well. Oil and gas, we are a big supporter of oil and gas. We want our equalization formula to be revised. So that is probably the reason that we have a lot of support from Western Canada. From almost all other provinces, we have members. So we are in the process of now recruiting coordinators. Our coordinators would start the EDAs, the Electoral District Associations.
Okay. So I saw a few pictures on your website as well, as a coordinators, and it looks like that they are the coordinator from the different race and backgrounds. So
Right.
so your party is targeting all the immigrants, minorities, or everyone actually, because I didn't see
Uh,
those faces there.
Right. So most of the, because I live in Toronto, I work in Toronto. Of course, my friends are in Toronto. And when you start a new party, or a new charity or something, you always go to your friends, right? So initially, people who were my close friend, they joined the team, and so we have several coordinators. Most of them are from GTA because we, of course, started from GTA, but our membership is equally representative of all communities. We have a lot of immigrants, we have lots of Caucasians, and you name it. Yeah.
So tell me that what are the some good reason why the people buy your membership?
Our membership is free for now, actually.
Okay. Okay, why they take your membership
Yeah,
then?
yeah, yeah. So, number one, Canadians have experienced both major parties, liberal and conservatives, and we know their track record. There's nothing hidden, right? Uh, um, I mean, there's a lot of hidden stuff. I mean, whatever is open, even we know they're open stuff. So I think the Canadians are, fed up with both parties. That is the reason that many liberals every year they either vote for NDP because they're fed up with the scandals, and sometimes many liberal voters vote for other parties like Green Party. And in Quebec, this year, Bloc Québécois, last election, Bloc Québécois took a lot of liberal seats and liberal votes. So liberal voters are not confident anymore on their party. Similarly, on the other side, the Conservative Party is split into many parties now,
Yep.
especially with their current leadership. So now Maxime Bernier started his own party, People's Party, that's also a right-wing party. Then in Western Canada, there is a Maverick Party, which is also a right-wing party. So it shows that people are not satisfied with Conservative Party. So we are coming up, we are professionals, most of the people with us, right? We are not politicians. I'm not an Ottawa politician. Politics is not my source of income or anything like this. I don't get any salary from my party. Most of the leaders are paid, right? And our bylaws also say that the leader will be unpaid,
Hmm.
or if he has no means, I think, whatever I recall now, the maximum salary he could get is twice of the minimum wage, which is
Okay.
not much salary.
Okay.
That would be the maximum salary. So our party would stand for transparency, and at this stage we are in a unity crisis with the Quebec, bringing their language amendment bill. They want French to be only language. Alberta economy is suffering, so there's a constant, kind of strife between these two parts of Canada. So we want this gap to be filled. Right, we want to support our oil and gas energy, and we don't, believe in what actually happens. These opportunistic politicians, they bring these issues because they have no other agenda. Francois Legault, who is the premier of Quebec, his election is coming up, and now he, before he used this Bill 21, the secularism law, and now he wants to use this language issue to get votes. So they don't care about the federation, about the solidarity with solidarity of all the provinces, but they care more about their position. So we are strongly we strongly oppose this kind of politics which divides Canadians.
So I just last but not the very important questions that that the election is very near in 2021. So your
Right.
party is, I'm sure, that contesting this election. So what will be your plan and strategy on that coming election?
Yeah. So for now, we are, there is a one MP resigned, I think Diane Finley from Norfolk, Haldimand area.
Mhm.
So we are planning, if that by-election happens before the federal election, we will nominate a candidate in that riding.
Okay.
And if it does not happen, then we are ready. We are accepting applications for nominations. We have some people who are interested to run from our platform. We already have their contact. They have contacted us. So our plan is to nominate as many candidates as possible, and they would be. Our plan is to have 50% female candidates. That's
Okay.
we want 50% females,
So
and
you
we
are
want.
you are actually trying to compete with the Liberal Party. They have the same agenda as well.
I think their agenda is only saying and not doing anything. We are doing this. We are not in competition with liberal or NDP or
Okay.
conservative. That's our own. That's our own ideology. That our population is 50-50 almost. So our candidates should be 50-50.
Thank you, Dr. Rana, for giving us the time and giving us the little more details about the Centre Party of Canada, and we will invite you in some other programs as well, because now we know that a new emerging party, Centrist Party of Canada, is, and Dr. Rana is behind and his team, and we want to see in 2021 election how the Centrist Party will come up with this election, and is their name going to be listened by the people of the Canada. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for inviting me in your program.
तो नाज़रीन, डॉक्टर राना साहब की आपने बातें सुनी। हमने डॉक्टर राना साहब से कोशिश की कि उनकी सेंट्रस्ट पार्टी का जो एजेंडा है उसके ऊपर बात करें, उनके हाई लेवल गोल्स क्या हैं, वो किस तरीके से इस पॉलिटिक्स को देख रहे हैं, वो क्यों इन्होंने पार्टी बनाई है, किस लिए बनाई है, और हमने कुछ इश्यूज़ को शुरू के अंदर हाईलाइट भी किया कि कनाडा के अंदर जो है वो एक काफ़ी बड़े इश्यूज़ जो हैं वो आ रहे हैं, और लेकिन मुझे नज़र नहीं आता कि कॉमन लोग जो हैं हमारी कम्युनिटी के अंदर स्पेशली किसी भी कैंडिडेट से ये सवालात पूछने के लिए तैयार नहीं है। और जब अगर पूछ भी ले कोई एंकर, मुझ जैसा एंकर या कोई और दूसरे साथी इस तरह के सवालात पूछ भी लेते हैं किसी एमपी से, तो या तो वो एमपी शायद हो सकता है कि इन सवालात वो चाहते नहीं है कि इस तरह के सवालात उनसे पूछे जाएं। बाज़ दफ़ा गैर महसूस तरीके से लोग जो है वो फिर आते नहीं हैं उनके प्रोग्राम्स के अंदर, या उनको शामिल नहीं होते क्योंकि मुश्किल सवालात के जवाब देने के लिए कोई भी तैयार नहीं होता। तो ये बहुत सारे मसाइल हैं जो कि कनाडा के अंदर आ रहे हैं, और यहाँ की पॉलिटिक्स के अंदर भी बेपनाह मसाइल हैं। इसलिए हमारी कम्युनिटी को स्पेशली जागना पड़ेगा और असल इश्यूज़ की तरफ आना पड़ेगा, बजाय ये कि हम जो है वो बैक हैम की पॉलिटिक्स की तरह कि जिसके साथ हम नत्थी हो गए, बस समझ रहे हैं कि जनाब यही हमारी लॉयल्टी होनी चाहिए। ऐसा नहीं है, हमें इशू बेस्ड सियासत करनी चाहिए, और हमारे इश्यूज़ भी वही इश्यूज़ हैं जो तमाम कैनेडियंस के इश्यूज़ हैं। यकीन जान लें कि सारे कैनेडियंस के इशू, सारे कैनेडियन परेशान हैं हाई टैक्स से, सारे परेशान ہیں کہ جناب یہ جو ریئل اسٹیٹس جو ہائی پرائسز ہو رہی ہیں اس سے وہ پریشان ہیں. اسی طریقے سے ہیلتھ کا سسٹم جو ہمارا ڈیٹیریٹ ہو رہا ہے اور لمبی جناب ہمیں انتظار کرنا پڑتا ہے. اس کے اندر یہ تمام مسائل جو ہیں تمام کینیڈینس کے ہیں اور ہمیں تمام کینیڈینس کی طرح اس کے ساتھ مل کر چلنا چاہیے اور ان ایشوز کو اپنے خود بھی سوال کرنے چاہیے اپنے ایم پی پیز سے اور بلکہ ان کو اجاگر بھی کرنا چاہیے تاکہ ہماری پارلیمنٹس کے اندر یہ سب باتیں ہوں بجائے کہ بہت ساری دوسری باتیں ہوں. انشاءاللہ تعالی اگلے ہفتے جو ہے وہ پھر نئے پروگرام اور نئے موضوع کے ساتھ ہم پھر تشریف لائیں گے آپ کے پاس اور کوشش کریں گے کہ بہت سارے ایسے موضوعات جو کہ کینیڈا کی سیاست سے ریلیٹڈ ہیں یا پاکستان کی سیاست سے ریلیٹڈ یا انٹرنیشنل سیاست سے ریلیٹڈ ہیں وہ آپ تک ضرور پہنچائیں. جب تک کے لیے اجازت دیجیے. السلام علیکم ورحمۃ اللہ وبرکاتہ.